Hello everybody and welcome to the very first deck profile for Irish Yugioh, and today I'm going to be doing Satellarknights, as you can see right here. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Satellarknights are good this format. I believe they're the only deck that didn't really get destroyed by the ban list. So yeah, it's actually still playable. So it's a pretty stationary build. You got your 3 Deneb. It's something you just have to run in the deck, it's your searcher, so you also run 3 Altair, he's your main guy, those two together just work in harmony, so you need 3 of those each. The next one is 2 Unicali. Some people like it at 3, I like it at 2, I feel 3 can be a bit cloggy, so that's why I like it at 2, and to be honest, its effect just sends to the grave, so it works for Altair, but usually Altair has a target, so I think at 2 is okay. Then on top of that, you run your 2 Vega. It's your extra special summon, so it lets you go into Trevere plays really, really easy. Moving on, for the rest of the monsters, I run Double Honest. Now, I am half tempted to take this out because of the way the format is, but it's also good in the deck because it makes your main deck monsters really, really powerful, but it also, if your opponent has an empty field and you're doing dead draws, you can normal summon them in main phase 1 and then attack and bring him back in main phase 2. So he's okay, and also he just makes sure your monster is absolute tanks. And then the one Thunder King. Thunder King is so powerful this format. He doesn't let your opponent search, and he stops special summons as well. He stops special summons, so I believe Thunder King is so good this format. He's a 1900. Not many main deck monsters can actually get over that. Now onto the spells. You got the 1 Rhoda. You need it. It's a 4th search, and it being hit the tree does affect the consistency of the deck a bit, but not a whole lot because of your Denebs and Skybridge, which is a spell card that was hardly used beforehand. So I believe this is actually you need it. You need it in the deck. Now, as I said, Skybridge. This is actually a really, really good card. It basically targets one of your Satellarknight monsters. You special one from the deck, and then the one you target goes back to the deck. So it's good if you get this and Unicali first hand, because your normal Unicali send the Deneb and then bring out the Altair, and then you get your Deneb out and you can search for another Altair, and it just basically you get a good play out straight away. So it's good. It is. I wouldn't run it with more than one, and it's a quick play, so you could do it on your opponent's turn, but I don't see what you would. You could do it in the end phase. It's probably the best place to do it if it's on your opponent's turn, but I wouldn't run it as more than one, so I would. And then 3 Mystical Space Typhoons. You need them. This is a pendulum format, and you need to stop those scales so badly. So 3 MST, I believe, is just perfect. You just need it. Then for your 1-ofs, obviously the 1 Instant Fusion. It's Norden. You need him in the deck. He's just so good. Raigeki and Bookmoon, self-explanatory. Onto the traps. Of course, 3 Nova Alpha. It makes the deck really. It stops spells, effects, and traps just by tripling, and you get to draw anyway, so it's not that much of a cost. But it's such a good trap. You need 3 in the deck. And then, obviously, Call of the Haunteds. Bring back your monsters, and they get their effects so badly. You get the effects, and because it's summoned, it's not normal summoned. It's just summoned, and this works so well. And then on top of that, 2 Oasis, it just specials them in defense. I wouldn't run this at 3. It's too cloggy at 3. 2 is really good because you see them all a good bit, but Oasis at 3, I just personally felt it was way too cloggy. 3 Fiendish Chain. It's okay against the pendulum decks this format, but it's even better against the rogue decks. It just works so well against rogue decks, so it does. They can't. It being at 3, you're getting into it really, really easy, and the rogue decks just can't combat it. And then 2 Mirror Force, once again, for the pendulums, they do a big, huge play, boom, the whole field's gone. And then also for rogue decks, just stop them. Double Mind Crush, people think this is a weird choice, but I like it because it stops. It's, most decks search. What deck doesn't search? And you stop that search, basically. They work up a big play relying on they get the search, and you stop the search with the Mind Crush. So it's so good. And then for the remaining traps, 2 Grand Horn. One of these would be replaced for a Vanities if I had one. I don't have one. I've been trying to get one, but I haven't got one. So one of those would replace. This is such a good card. It's it's just so good, you know. I think it stops your opponent attacking you pretty much. And then of course you got the one warning and the one bottomless to round up the traps. You just need them in your deck this format. They're so powerful this format, and you know, just stop those pendulum summons. Moving on to the extra deck. Extra deck's pretty basic as well. Your double Trevor. Trevor is the main extra deck card in this. He bounces your opponent field, he gets rid of their hand, and then he brings them back from the grave. You need 2 Trevor. I may even have them to bump this up to 3, but 2 is amazing. 1 Deltaros. He pops, he stops basically warning, Grand Horn, and bottomless, even time space. So he does. So Deltaros is just so good in this format. And then on top of Deltaros, the last Satellarknight monster is Diamond. Just for, he's a 2700, so he can get over big monsters. And he, you know, he stops the rogue dark decks that you might encounter. One number 86. This guy has won me, I don't know how many duels. You get 5 monsters on this guy, 5 materials, and he's unstoppable. He's unstoppable for, like, your opponent can't normal. Oh, he's just, and he can blow up your opponent's field. He's just so good. He's a game-winning card, and Satellarknights just utilize him so well. The next 2 are Excalibur and Blade Armor. Blade Armor lets you attack twice, so it's 4/4. And then he's just your beater. He's just a 4k beater. And it goes through your opponent's turn as well, so he can sit on it. The 1 Tsukiyomi. This runs really well in this deck because they're light. You know, you ditch a card, draw 2 more. He's so good. Sit him in defense because he's got 2300 defense, so he's just so good. Onto the rank 4s. And this deck runs 6 rank 4, like generic rank 4s, so it just utilizes them so well. So you got 101, Dark Rebellion, Castel. None of these should need explanation. Castel's so broken this format though, by the way. So broken. A Dweller, Ragna Zero, and Cowboy. None of those should need explanation if you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! A while. For the people who are new, I will go through which one. Cowboy, you know, if they're less than 800, it's a game. He blows up anything that has a hot attacks different to its original, and then you get draw cards, so he has a bit of draw power. Dweller stops effects in the grave. Castel can send a card back to the deck or set one. He's like a Book of Moon. He's your beater. If they have a problematic monster who's just got a high attack, you bring out him, and then that's them gone. And then 101 steal their special summoned monsters, and he can survive for a long time. They're all the rank 4s in the deck. And then of course we'll end it with the 1 Norden. You know, recycle your plays, recycle your monsters, and just, you know, go into the generic rank 4s. I've made a small side deck for this deck, and I'll just go through it really quickly. You know, so what we got is 1 Chain Destruction. It's okay, it's good against rogue decks, especially against rogue decks, because, you know, you take out the main monster of the deck and they can't do anything about it. Then also on top of that, the 1 Chain Dispel, you know, stop pendulums. They can activate the one they have and it stays alive, but the rest of them in the deck are just destroyed, completely gone. So it's actually pretty good. Also, Gravity Bind. I run Gravity Bind because this deck goes into Ixies like at least once a turn, so it doesn't affect Ixies monsters, only affects main deck monsters, and that's what the pendulums do. 1 Soul Drain. Once again, stop graveyard and banished pile effects. So Cosmos, this is good against the banished pile, so it's pretty good against Cosmos. 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, just in case you can't, you meet, you know, Rogue, BA, or Shadal's, or any dark deck for that matter. Just stop them altogether. 1 Dark Hole and 1 Prohibition. They're the one-off spells I run. Dark Hole, if you get your Trevor or Deltaros out, you get the search when they die if they have materials, so that's why Dark Hole's okay. Prohibition, I just love Prohibition. Stop your opponent using one specific card is just so powerful. I just love Prohibition, like my favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now for proper format things. Fairy Wind, not Wavering Eyes. Fairy Wind. Stop those pendulum scales. Just destroy them. Get them out of there. Just stop them. You need Fairy Wind in your side deck in this format. For the Mirror and rank 4 decks, Flying Sea. Stop them going into their Trevor place, or any Ixies place for that matter. Even works against the pendulums because they do rely on the extra deck. Now, for something, this is for Cosmos and Ritual Beasts. So, you know, you got the 2 Lancia and the 1 Imperial Iron Wall. I'd probably either bump this up to 2 or take one of these out and bump that up to 2. But I think I like having these in because, you know, they're quick plays from the hand. And then bump this up to 2, I take something else out. So that's the deck, guys. Tell me what you thought of it. I love this deck. I've been trying to play. I've been building this deck for ages. So just tell me what you think. Yeah, Satellarknights still really powerful this format, you know. So they are. So please do tell me what you think of Satellarknights this format. And if you want to see any of the deck profiles, please do give this video a like. Do comment down below what deck, any decks you want me to potentially give a profile on, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye, guys.